All right, folks. We are so back. Very excited to get into this. This is Lunch Breaker, again on Ashe and again on Colosseo. I reviewed a VOD of theirs pretty recently on Colosseo, and to my recollection, there weren't a whole lot of issues, but I think I highlighted something about careful when peaking angles, right? So a big thing that I've been talking about in recent VODs, especially because I've been seeing it more and more, and that's kind of going to happen as I continue to review more and more VODs, is I'm going to notice things that I might not catch the first or second or third VOD or whatever, and then I'm going to remember them or what, like they're just going to pop up and I'm going to be like, oh, hey, yeah, like I could be talking about this. And oh, hey, yeah, like I could, like this is just going to keep happening where I'm going to find more and more and more things to talk about, especially as we climb higher, we get better, we implement some advice and do some different things. I'm going to have like a new set of things to talk about because all of a sudden, like all these things that I'm currently talking about aren't going to matter anymore because they'll already be good. They'll be solid. So anyways, yeah, angles, minimizing your exposure to angles that you aren't looking at. Very, very big concept and kind of a subconscious habit that you really want to build. So when I play, which by the way, I've had kind of a a little bit of a rough time recently. I got an opportunity to actually sit down and have a pretty decent gaming session during this weekend because I had it off, and I think I went like 9-14, and I'm like barely holding on to M3 right now, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I don't know how that happens, man. I won eight of my placement games and then immediately just go on like this loss streak of sorts. Anyways, whatever. I got to sit down and play, and when I have the opportunity to play, especially after doing coaching sessions, I'm thinking about, or I'm keeping it in mind at least, some of these things that I'm talking about. And I realize that, especially when it comes to these mechanical sort of micro things that I like to comment on, I don't think about them. And that's exactly the point that I want to bring you guys to reach. Like, I want you to get to that point where you don't think about it. So I only started observing that in myself. I was like, wait, why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? I started asking myself why I'm doing certain things, and it's just habits being built over time. So hopefully you can take some of the feedback that I have for you and implement that and build your own habits in the same way that I have, and then you'll reach the point where it's just subconscious. You don't have to think about it. But trust me, I totally get it. As I've said before, I was hard stuck plat for a very, very long time. So trust me, I've been there, and I've been, if anybody thinks, and I'm pretty sure I actually have a video or VOD to do for Frozone here as well. I don't know if he had specifically mentioned this, or she, or whatever. I don't know if they had specifically mentioned this, but I've heard it said before because I'm talking to some coworkers who actually play as well, who's a tank main, and he's silver, and he's like, I just can't do more. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, I feel like I'm playing so well. Trust me, that feeling never goes away. I still feel that way, and I'm masters, right? I'm just masters. You know, GM players are going to feel that way. Champion players aspiring to go professional will feel that way. It just doesn't stop. You always think you're doing really well, even on your best of best games, even on your worst of worst games. Sometimes you just feel like, what am I doing wrong? So hopefully, hopefully this is helpful. I don't remember exactly where I was going with that, but I think that's kind of where I kind of wanted to end up. As always, I hope that you're actually getting something out of this. And just, you don't have to work on every little thing that I say. In fact, I highly encourage you to pay no attention to most of it. Like, if you really want to, go ahead and pick out some little pieces and parts. What I have to say, like, pick and choose maybe what you want to work on. But ultimately, why I end every video with like one major thing that I've noticed is because I only really want you to focus on one big thing at a time, because it's just impossible. There's so much to this game. Excuse me, I just had some food, so I guess I have some I can't talk. Let's just go. I'm ready. I'm ready to watch some gameplay. On run. Yo, I'm still trying to figure out how to play against on run. Okay. Only thing to note here, Lunch, your crosshair placement needs a little bit of work. I love that you took this angle. Great first starting rotation. Don't even mind that you're here with Onron. Onron should deepen, go somewhere else anyways. Like Onron is not just a hang back and take an angle sort of DPS. She has the flanker role, right, in her subcategory. It is how you play Onron, so it's fine that Onron's here. I just wouldn't expect her to stay here for a lengthy period of time. However, this is your type of angle that you want to be on right now. So this is a good rotation. And obviously the left side here doesn't offer anything at all. You can't really take an angle left side, so this is fine. I like this. I like this. Maybe if we were talking about, oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but this is a gold game. If we were starting to look at maybe plat or diamond, then I might have some different suggestions, because sort of, kind of optimal play dictates that you sort of want to have somebody with your tank, depending on the tank, and helping your tank apply pressure down main and to their tank so that their tank can just steamroll, and then you have a flanker of some sort or somebody always on an angle. But obviously that's pretty coordinated play, and it's really not important right now, and probably won't be. I don't even think it's important in Masters, to be honest. So this is fine. But as I was saying, crosshair placement, and let me use my correct keyboard and unplug my gaming keyboard with my function keys, please. Thank you. Let's take a look. What function key are you? You are 5. Wonderful. You just see how this is super, super low. Like if anybody turns the corner over here, or even like around this corner, we're just not in a position to shoot anything. It's the only thing I'd worry about here. Yeah, I don't mind you disengaging from that, only because your on-run's still here. If your on-run wasn't still here, I would tell you to stay. But now you're taking a different angle from your on-run, so this is totally fine. So we're still creating angles based on the rest of our team. I have no idea why Zarya has played so far back. Crosshair placement. When we turn this corner, we want this to be head height. You know, we're kind of like staring at the ground here. Really nice, calm, smooth shots. I love the disengage there. Mercy's rezzing, which is fine, whatever. At least Rez is out and dealt with that, sure. I don't really love how you've played this part so much. I like the disengage here quite a lot. I think it's totally fine. We took a little bit of damage here, right? We take a little bit of damage and we see somebody around the corner. I would have reacted this way too. I wouldn't have thought, hey, it's Mercy. I don't really care about a Mercy. I would have just seen yellow or red or whatever your enemy outline is and been like, okay, I'm out. So I like that quite a bit. Half health. Yeah, let's just go regroup and play a little bit safe, because again, tempo character, right? We talked about this. Ashe's tempo character. You just use some tempo. Now, to be fair, you didn't really use dynamite or anything, but we just used some ammo. We used some ammo, and what did I also say last time? Health is a resource. We traded health for this kill. So we have invested resources, even though we still have coach, even though we still have dynamite. We have invested ammo and we have invested health, 2 very important resources for Ashe, into this fight. We won the fight. And so now we're like, our tempo is a little bit off. Like we're a little bit weaker. So yeah, disengage and wait till you're strong to re-engage, right? But this rotation here, I'm just not a huge fan of, because your on-run's right there. I would have probably just stayed, hold this angle here. Just take a look, just watch, be patient, watch, because everybody's already over here, right? Everybody's already over here. And that really does not help that your Zarya is playing like the ultra passive Zarya that will carry her straight into bronze, but I don't necessarily agree with poking this. Nice dynamite though. Just a little early detonation, obviously, but good vision on that to get the 3 of them there. So because we don't stay over here, you know, Echo gets to just kind of fly in, harass Onron, force Onron out. Bubble goes out on Onron. Mercy's still over here for free. So you kind of see how, because you're not still here watching this lane that you took, that you controlled, how they got free value. Yes, you got the pick, really good job, and you forced res here. Huge, very, very good. But unless you absolutely have to completely abandon that angle here, I probably wouldn't. I would have disengaged as you did and then probably tried to play around a corner to play safe. Hopefully get some support from my supports, or just let my passive regen kick in. Either way, it'd still be looking here, because if you had been there to deny that Echo all this free space here, then Onron wouldn't have gotten forced out and Bubble wouldn't have gone out. And then talking about resources, then your team has more resources, right? Really, really liking this aim here, Lunch. This is really nice. This is not bouncy whatsoever. This is just really calm and controlled. Really like that. Something we've been trying to work on a little bit. That's okay. I mean, it's never like this. You'd never been in this position if you had just kind of stayed over here. So it's kind of whatever. But once again, dying because we're main, right? Dying because we're main. All right. Now, team doesn't give up a whole lot of space here. That's pretty nice. Your team reads the fight pretty well and seems to have a pretty good sense of flow. All right, where are we gonna go? Yep. Yep. Love it. Yep. 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 Nice. Good patience. Okay, well, lunch. Bro, no. Like, as soon as this Junkrat puts this mine and flies, he is your immediate concern. I'm not probably even looking at him. I'm coaching somewhere, maybe straight up. But this junk can one-shot you very easily, and I don't know why he doesn't. Very easily. If he's closing this distance on you, just a mine and a concussion mine thing or whatever, a bomb, his shot and a concussion mine away from instant death here. This is way too close for comfort for me to care, for me to want to, you know, risk just standing here and ignoring this Junkrat is what I'm trying to say. So either coach this Junkrat or coach yourself into a position or arc or whatever that would be hard for this junk to hit. You're so lucky he just doesn't care about you whatsoever here. But yeah, like boom, fine. Coach. 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 Good crosshair placement. It's a nice, pretty nice beam usage from her, honestly. I think she pre-fired her beam here. Yeah, she did. That was nice. Yeah. Well, you probably could have at least traded the Junkrat. I don't know. This Echo made a decent-ish play. Wasn't really favorable for her. She really had to rely on catching you off guard, which she did because you were distracted by Junkrat, but we didn't even engage on the Junkrat because we were staring down main and shooting a tank with dynamite. So I think you could have at least traded here. It's probably the best you could have done. And especially if I'm that Echo player and I hear you use coach, yeah, then I'm definitely engaging on you. So that's why I think that's probably the best you could have done, because you would have been down coach for the Echo. And it's a nice reaction here, right? At least we get her away as much as we can. But yeah, we could have traded that junk for sure. I like the position though, really nice. It is a little bit spooky to play up over here when they have anybody with any verticality, because you know at a moment's notice they can just take this from you. So it's pretty spooky, but that shouldn't deter you from taking it because it's very valuable to you. Just be careful. Yep, nice, standing still. It's fine that you missed your shots. Don't care that you missed. You stood still and took as easy of a shot as you could take. Now, to be fair to you, it's a flying character and they buffed Echo's flying speed and whatnot, so Yeah, I like it. Just good mechanics. Understood, I heard the Junkrat too. You just misread the position a little bit. But I respect it, I know what you're trying for there. This is way too close. So you remember where I talked about, I don't remember if, well, it must have been, because I think it's, well, maybe, I don't know what I'm saying. It's either you or Sai, right? My two Ashe aficionados that had a VOD on Colosseo. And one of the positions I really recommended taking was back here. And I think this is 100% an appropriate time for it, because you're creating a nice distance from their entire team, keeping all of them in your field of view. Because realistically, what are you going to do as Ashe if you're right here and they're around the corner? Which is why I don't like you playing here, because I know that there's people coming around the corner. So we're just way too close for that engagement. And yeah, it's nice that you're able to get sort of an angle here, but I don't think that's worth it. You can sort of see this angle from here. Obviously not quite as well as you can from here, but I would much rather you be staged and positioned here to take this fight as they round the corner, because that's just what you're equipped to do as Ashe. Alternatively, if you want to take the fight here instead, then don't walk bridge, walk out spawn, come this way, come over here and look for a flank, right? Because at least most of the time, you're not going to run into somebody, or people aren't going to run into you. You'll probably catch them off guard over here. And yeah, it's a little bit close, but risk reward, I think it's worth it, because again, most of the time, you probably won't see too many people come this way, at least not until you start getting into Masters or higher, when people would take sort of like a really weird angle at this time. Like, this is something I would do if I was on Cass and I was on their team right now. I would 100% be walking up these stairs and just holding this position right now, looking out through here, and then maybe adjusting and deepening. But why would I do it? Because it's a weird time to do it. It's a weird time to do it, and I would probably catch people off guard. So if anybody was to rotate this way, they would not be expecting me. And then most of the time they don't, and they all kind of stay around here and then push through here. So I could either take shots at them and completely distract them from the safety all the way over there, or I can read what my team wants to do. Maybe my tanks push forward and I can make a play over here as my tank engages, and then they're pinched. So, food for thought, but I don't like how we're standing on bridge here.
Enemy forwards.
I'm just gonna chalk that up to inexperience with playing against whatever they call that ability. Does that mean she's respawning, or does that mean she can respawn? That's kind of a nice giveaway though. Like, for sure that they have ult, right? Or what? It's not even, they don't even have an on-run though. Is that your on-run then? No, it's her on-run. That's weird. Is that how it looks like to you? Or is yours blue? Actually really curious, because if yours looks like that, it's kind of misleading. Which is, if that's the case, I understand why you're staring at it, because my immediate thought is it's red, therefore it's the enemy. Even though I play on yellow, still. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Just be careful. Careful, because the bot has to go all the way back here and then all the way through here, right? So your team is nowhere even close to being like parallel to you here. So just be careful. I like this rotation a lot. I think it's totally fine. I might even come as far as backing up over to this side of the statue, so that just in case you get caught, you have a really easy disengage and access to mini, or you could even go and play on this mega if necessary. Just careful about going too far forward. Love it. Beautiful. Yep. Great. Yep, this is fine too. Yeah, coach up. Okay, maybe you're just trying to be sneaky and don't want to give away your position. That's fine too.
Do something!
Yeah. Sure, that's fine. It's maybe a little bit early because nothing's really happening, right? Except their Echo just got a pick, which is crazy. Somehow she got a pick. So this Bob is maybe the tiniest bit early, but not really, because look at where your team is and where they're fighting. Like, things are happening. People aren't really investing anything. Cooldowns aren't going out really so much. And the fight's not really chaotic or anything. But this Bob is definitely going to get a lot of value. I think it's totally fine. I always get paranoid whenever I throw Bob early like this that he's just going to get melted instantly. Because, again, their team isn't really hard engaged with anything. They're kind of all still staged and poking. They're still in poke phase here for the most part. But I don't see anything wrong with this. I think it's pretty nice. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. Number of times I've been killed by Sigma just because Sigma doesn't make noise. It's ridiculous. It's not really your fault there. It's a good Bob. Hopefully your team continues to capitalize here. Like, what did your team do with this, Bob? Okay, I mean, their immediate reaction here, as soon as they hear Bob, even without seeing him, like, now, your entire team needs to be walking forward. They kind of are. Your Zarya is still playing a little bit too hesitant, and now she's just backing up for no reason. Like, your team kind of lets you down a little bit here. Like, they just need to hold W. They just need to hold W. And they kind of, I mean, they do, but just not hard enough. And if they had continued to hold W, then your Bob wouldn't have gone down quite so early. Would have still been alive a little bit. Probably still wouldn't have gotten any extra value, but... nice Bob. Nice. Careful. Yeah, so that coach is fine. I like that you're thinking about taking this nice, strong position. Only problem is what did we see? We didn't see it, and we didn't really hear it. Yeah, it's still fine. I would just be careful, though. I'd be careful. You see how much you're committing to this coach? Like, we're holding W into the high ground here, but if I coach right now, we do hear junk up there at the very last moment. If I coach right now, like, this is fine, but look before you commit to actually landing on here. Like, coach up with the intention to take this space, but if you run into something like this Junkrat, then you don't have to fully commit and put yourself right in his face. And I have no idea why he's so blind, but... That's rude of him. Yeah, keep going.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Juno.
Careful, Junk. Guess he was low. That would have confused me. I would have looked across bridge. We're way too close here. We're way too close. It's not even because they have Diva, because I didn't even know they had Diva yet. But again, this is not an Ashe range, right? I know we're trying to be part of this fight. I understand that, but we wanna play our life. We want to play our life. We want to live as long as possible. We want to do as much with our life as possible. And so by playing an angle like this, it'd be appropriate if your entire team was dead and you're just trying to, like, create some chaos and throw out some damage and just die with your team. But your entire team, minus your Onron, is still alive here. And so you can potentially have a lot of value for your team here. And so why do we want to just kind of throw our life away by playing incredibly close to them when we could take a different angle and do something else and still get value? So what would I have liked to see instead? Let's back up. This is fine. I would have checked bridge here. I would have looked left side. Wouldn't have seen anybody. So I'd been like, okay, I'm going to go sit left. So we'd walk over to bridge. Oops. And then probably would have ran into Diva, but you can't predict that. And it would, at least would have been up here having created more distance against Juno or Mizuki and his Echo copy Juno. Instead of just playing right around the corner where they can easily see you. Maybe the outcome probably would have been the same. Probably still would have gotten pushed by D.Va, died to D.Va here. So I guess alternatively, I mean, I still think playing bridge is the play here. I agree. I like how you push up. I like how we get back to this spot pretty much as quickly as we can. And I like that you, I like how you even consciously think to go this way, right? Because you see your team fighting over there, you see the bot over there, so in your mind, you're thinking, okay, well, where can I be to create space between myself and the cart, robot, whatever, but also have good angle, good positioning, and a disengage. And you're right, like, this is a pretty nice spot. You're absolutely right. So I agree with this. And I even agree with you walking forward, because there's just, you don't have any vision. So yeah, we don't want to just stand here and do nothing while our team is fighting. So I guess your other solution, when I look at it, but I wouldn't have immediately thought of this if I was in your shoes, would have been to just drop down here, right? Because then you get the same angles, you keep the same distance, and yeah, you're not on high ground, but who cares about high ground if there's nothing to shoot when you're on high ground? So maybe the objectively correct play is actually just to drop here. Just to drop and harass them from this side. I think that is probably the most impactful you could possibly be right now. But as I said, I agree with this. The only thing I don't agree with is running down here. I would have just come over here. And then probably died to this D.Va. But still.
Let's fight to take the robot back. Group up here.
You won't get the best of me.
Okay.
Everybody come over here. On your right.
Sure, I don't know why they're stalling so much.
She's gonna blow.
So your on-run gets a pick out of it. Yeah. It's pretty nice.
You have got the robot.
Sure. Ironically, I think this is a completely appropriate time for you to just coach up here. Coach up here, take this angle. You know, again, don't necessarily full commit if there happens to be somebody here. And just disengage, but take this space, take this angle, and look through here. Because you don't want to be on the receiving end of what I thought you should do in the last fight. You don't want people staring down at you on top of bridge. It just makes your life miserable. I really do not like playing Ashe on this specific part of this map. It's just that there are no really good angles for Ashe. So a lot of the time, if I'm on Ashe, I am usually like back here and feeling like I'm not doing anything. Yeah, on this map, I'm just kind of like over here, and then I use this to rotate and come through here if I need to or want to, and then sometimes I'll play over, but nothing feels really good here. Nothing really feels good. So this part of the map is really bad for Ashe.
We're so close to taking the lead.
Okay, good attempt, I guess, but this is way too late to take height. This is way too late to take height. We have no vision. We hear people above us. We don't know what's going on. That's very risky. I'm glad that you don't get up there, because you probably would have at least taken a ton of damage, if not died. Yeah, back up.
Is that a present? We're taking that robot on fire. We can take the lead from here. Keep pushing.
What a great Suzu. That's my Kiriko right there. Okay. Okay, we hear something. Sure. We hear the echo. We see the echo. Okay, so what did we talk about at the very beginning? What did I say we should work on in the last video? Exposing ourselves to angles that we are not looking at, right? So what are we doing right now? See it? Now we just turn and go over there. But you're taking an unnecessary risk. If there was anybody who had walked through here, or anybody who's even looking from spawn and sees you just standing right here, like, you're a pretty easy target right now. See, look at this. And then we shift our attention, but we didn't even bother to check over here, and we just exposed ourselves to that angle as we were clearing this echo. So we're walking too far forward here. And Like, you can do this, the exact same thing you're doing now, from right here, and it'll be fine. Because then nobody has any sights on you. But now we're just too far forward. It's a small little difference, but it really does matter. We have Bob, we're getting aggressive, absolutely. Yep, throw it. Yep, yep, good job. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I mean, everything is pretty picture perfect. Small mistake over here to expose yourself to this angle. Nice decision to rotate and deepen only because you have Bob. If you didn't have Bob here, this would be a crazy death wish and just would not be worth it in any situation, really. Unless you know for sure you can get at least a trade. But because we have Bob here, this is 100% worth it all the time. And you don't even hesitate on this Bob, really. It just goes out in exactly the position that I would want it to be. This is a fantastic position. If it hits that Mizuki or goes through, I don't care. Either way, it's still really good. It ends up in a really good spot. And then just this indecisiveness is what gets you killed, obviously. Yeah, just keep going, keep going. You know, you knew you were getting chased. Right, there comes the mine, right? So you can safely assume that they're now chasing you, because I'll tell you what they aren't doing. They're not walking into your Bob. So if they're not walking into your Bob and you're getting shot at, it's probably pretty safe to assume that they're chasing you here. So we just don't have time for this. Just coach. Just coach from here, coach out, go get the mega, come back here, and you're golden. Otherwise, really, really stellar play here. This is really good. You made a huge impact for your team.
I ain't a quitter. Approaching.
I mean, these are game-winning plays for sure.
Welcome to orbit.
The battle ignites me.
Sounds like they're on Bastion now. Sure.
Now I'm really fired up.
Do you just win here? You might. I think you do? Surely. Just go on the card. Just go on the card. Just go on the card. Somebody go on the card. Wow, no way. No way. No way. Oh my gosh, that's heartbreaking. That's so heartbreaking. How does this even happen? Oh no. It's a nice shot. It's criminal to me that this diva is still considered to be on the payload. I'm sorry, but if it's me and I'm this far away from payload, I'm not on it. I'm certainly not on it now. And I'm still not on it, and I'm not on it now. 100%. I'm definitely 1,000,000,000% off it at this point. This is just the game saying screw you in particular. I'm sorry. I don't know. I would have thought that was in the bag for sure. So yeah, we are subject to the walking forward syndrome where the game's almost over, so we just hold W into main. But like that looked like a shoo-in, honestly. Like I would have probably done the same thing. Your alternative and better play objectively is to come up here and do exactly what you're doing up here, because it just gives you a little bit more angles, right? And then you can kind of see over top of here in case anybody hides behind there. But it's minor given the situation, the circumstance, and how much the game screwed you here. It's whatever. Just die. Just die. Your tank's dead. Just die with your tank. Catch wave respawn. Don't like unnecessarily stagger yourself here. You may have. You might. Yeah, you did, because your tank just respawned and you staggered yourself. So that's a mistake. That's a mistake. Like you have no shot of winning this. Your Juno goes down first somehow, and then your tank goes down. I mean, you were already down 2 prior to the start of the fight anyway. So, yeah, we just needed to die as quickly as possible after our tank goes down here, so we catch respawn as team. Crosshair placement. I know that nobody's going to be right there, but what if, you know, what if? Crosshair placement. Look up. Look up. Look, like, rotate this way, because that's what you want to do, but watch this corner. Watch it, just in case. Careful with the movement there.
2 minutes.
Okay, we don't need to be moving here. I think you hit tire with that dynamite. Yeah, coach him in. That's an example of when I would use coach a little bit aggressively here. When I see that my team's pinching them and my Zarya is full health and pretty decent charge, I'm just coaching them. I'm not letting them get over here. I'm not letting them run away. I'm forcing them back into my tank, into my Zarya, because then they don't have any escape whatsoever. And the junk doesn't get out alive. I mean, you kill him here for sure, right? Yeah.
My fuse is lit.
But still, that's an example of when you could use coach a little bit more aggressively. Oh my god. Like, you know that meme that's been kind of popping off right now? With that, I'm fake because I don't know where it's from, and I probably should know. So I'm just gonna describe it. It's got the like anime girl in the the front of the camera, just staring at you, and behind her there's like guillotines like smashing down every second. Like that is me, and the guillotines are getting closer. Whatever. That is me right now. My mind's eye is telling me that this diva is just staring you down. Okay. Yeah, so sure. I like the aggression here. I like looking for a different opportunity. But we can hear Diva walking.
2 minutes remaining.
Right now, we can hear tappity tapping towards us. I wouldn't go quite this far without knowing what this Diva was going to do first. Maybe you get bailed out by your Zarya here if she's paying attention. I would just coach to your Zarya. Okay, that's good. Get out of there, lunch! Oh my god, we die with coach. Coach! Obviously, you know that. I don't have to tell you. Okay, let's just keep going. A little late, but not bad. I just mean late on the detonation timing there. It's
2 minutes.
just tiniest bit late. It gives them a little bit of time to react to this. You see, it is on the ground for half a second. Really nice dynamite though. Holy cow, 4 people. Ideally, you want to have it detonate in the air, but that's being really nitpicky. So it's just the tiniest bit late, but you're usually really good with your timing, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, we have Bob. Wouldn't recommend bobbing into tree. For one, tree does a lot of healing. 2, tree is massive, big obstacle that they can all kite around, so it's just kind of usually not worth it. I don't like this though. Yeah, stay over here. Stay over here. Take this angle. Yeah, there's a diva. Yeah, there's a diva. You have coach, and she's not on top of you, and she's still relatively far away. So you should be able to shut down a dive from her. Like maybe you don't want to go all the way over here. I don't know. I wouldn't care if you did. But at least like come over here. It's still an angle. It's still an angle, and you can still see. Alright, Junkrat.
Do something.
Well, where did he go? Well, actually, where did he go? This guy is so scared of you, and you don't even look at him. I don't... like, what? I don't get it.
Bob, do something.
We definitely need to be reacting to presences like this a little bit faster. Like as soon as this junk comes up, we just don't have time for this. We really don't. This close, I'm telling you, it's a one shot for this guy. If he was even a little bit better, you're just one shot. He misses 2 shots on you. But if this guy was better, you're cooked. So we don't have to. I like this Bob in principle. I think the timing's pretty nice. It's behind Curie Rush. they're going to have to turn around, so they can't just unload everything into Bob in front of a rush. So, you know, it's pretty, as it's said, it's pretty well timed. Like, it's pretty good. Problem is we needed to react to that junk and make sure we were safe before we threw it.
Do something.
Yeah, whatever. Keep going.
10 seconds remaining.
I think the Bob was fine. Some nice heads up from you there. Nice shot. Nice heads up to recognize that you're safe, even that bomb's staring you down, and you win. Nice. Okay.
Victory.
Very cool lunch. Very cool. I think you had a lot of highlight moments here. Some really nice plays with bobs. Didn't really see any issues with your bobs. There's one thing I want to talk about right now. That's mechanics that we should probably start to talk about at some point. I don't think it's super important for you right now, but let's just actually go in the practice range because it's easier. But it will become important for you as you continue to improve and work on things yourself. So mechanically, when we're talking about Ashe, there's something you'll see me and every other person do who plays Ashe at a higher elo, and it is the combo. And I'm sure you've probably heard about it and seen it, and I don't know what's preventing you from doing it. I had a friend named Trixie, and he played a lot of Ashe, and I kept trying to make him do this combo over and over and over and over and over again. Like, I kept telling him, like, you need to do this combo. That's how you do damage. And what does DPS stand for? Damage per second. If you aren't maximizing your damage, you aren't doing your job. And he couldn't get it through his thick head that he really needed to start learning this. And I'm not saying you have to do it every single time, but it's a really nice thing to have in your toolkit to help you out. So by combo, I mean I need to see more of this type of thing from you right here. This is a very, very simple combo, one of the simplest in the games. Don't even get me started on some Genji combos, they're crazy. But it allows you to really maximize your burst potential. You can fire a lot faster than if you were just staying unscoped or scoped. So here, I'll demonstrate what it looks like when we're unscoped. I'll demonstrate what it looks like when we're scoped. In fact, I'll just go back to stationary targets, so we won't even have to move. I'll just do it standing still to minimize as many external things as possible. All right, unscoped. Not bad, right? Pretty, like, bam, 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 bam. Okay, now scoped. Probably like half the time, or twice as long. In fact, let me get somebody I can shoot a little bit more. Let's get a, I don't know who has the most health out of any tank right now, but, and I can't hold down right. So I'm just spamming left click here as I'm shooting this Roadhog, and that's the absolute fastest I can go. And then we'll do the same unscoped. So pretty fast, but obviously not a whole lot of damage, as we know as Ashe players. So how do we get maximum burst damage with the combo? So it's really, really simple. It takes maybe a day or two to learn it and get the feel for how it feels, and then it will become muscle memory, right? So we can fire this fast, but output a lot more damage. You see what I mean? So how do we do that? We hold left at like literally like a millisecond after we press left. We're holding down right, and then as we hold down right, we release left mouse button and we click again, and then we release both after. I promise it's not as complicated as it sounds. And then we shoot again. Okay, so here I'll go really slow. Pressing left mouse button and almost at the exact same time right mouse button, so we get the unscoped shot and scope in at pretty much the same time. So this is how that looks, right? See, we're taking the shot, but we're also scoping in, and then from here we can shoot again. Okay, so there's our scope shot, and then as we take that shot, we do the exact same thing that we went from unscoped to scope, but now we're going scope to unscoped. So unscoped shot to scoped in, to scope shot to unscoped, to unscoped shot. Okay, so it's like that. It's really, really strong. In fact, I actually have an example. I have an example for the first time in my life, ladies and gentlemen. I have an example. Let me just see if I can find it. Don't mind the scoreboard. I just have to remember. I think it was this game. Let me show you how strong this can be. Let me show you. Was it? I don't think it was. I was literally right here. Okay, watch from my point of view, and then we'll go watch from her point of view. Boom! Instant, deleted. Incredible burst damage. Didn't even have to take the third shot, obviously, because I had dynamite here. But she's just cooked from that. Like, this is important tech, and look how low I get. Like, this, she's a good player. Like, she's insane. Like, if I stay there and I don't use that combo, I'm dead. I'm the one who dies. I have to be able to output that incredible source of damage to win that duel here. So you see what I mean? It's actually incredibly strong, and it is Ashe tech you absolutely need to know. You need to know it. But that's not what I want you to necessarily work on. I think that's just something you can kind of, play around with as you see fit. But what I would like to see... what I would like to see is to continue working on what I had last suggested you to work on. So I want you, and I'm trying to think of a way that you can practice this without necessarily being under the pressure of a game, but I mean, there's one way, and it's kind of boring and kind of obvious, and then there's the less boring way. I think you should go into deathmatch. I think you should go into deathmatch, which is obviously a lot less pressure, a lot less stressful. And you should, let me see if I can get into just a deathmatch map real quick. I think presets, deathmatch somewhere. So just a deathmatch. I mean, this will put me in a deathmatch map, so I don't care. Sure, whatever. Put me in, throw me in, coach. Just gonna demonstrate what I mean with real obstacles. I want you to just kind of, in a deathmatch or even on a map by yourself, whatever you prefer, go to angles that you normally take or that you would normally play, and watch your positioning from, like go to take a spot, like, okay, I'm gonna walk here, right? I'm gonna pretend I'm playing Ashe attacking on this map, and I'm just, for whatever reason, running main and standing here, and I'm scoped in over here and I'm looking. So from this spot, I want you to look around and identify where you are and what angles you're exposing yourself to. So from this point, there's one over there, there's over there, and there's all of this over here, right? So these are, I mean, maybe up there, but you get the point, right? So these in front of you, these are the angles that you were ignoring when you choose to stare down this angle right here, and then move across the map and do this in different positions. Like this, I like playing Ashe up here quite a lot. Sometimes I'll play over here, and if I play over here, what angles am I ignoring? Well, I can kind of see over here, and I can see down here, but I can't see over here, right? So is this a good position to play? Well, maybe I know for certain there's nobody over here. I don't have to care about them at all. If I don't, why not just play here? You know? Why not play here? Because suddenly, guess what? Now I don't have to worry about that at all. And do this at various points of every single map you play. Like, really think about where you are and what you're risking when you decide to move. So if I'm playing here, I'm playing on the flank and I'm shooting them as they walk in, if I hold W here, oh, suddenly now this angle is exposed, and I'm ignoring it. So why would I want to move there? I would just want to stay here. So we saw this like what, like once or twice from you? I don't know, but it's still a really important concept because you're gonna start to be punished for it. You really are. But if you can minimize that risk, that's what I want you to be doing. So think about that. Go into deathmatch, practice with that concept, and worry about it in the game, in games as much as you can. But at least I know when I play and I'm trying to practice something, it's usually pretty hard for me to remember to practice it. So don't worry about it too much, but find a way that you can sort of practice that concept and get it drilled into your brain. And come show me your progress with your next VOD. Give me a couple specific timestamps where you were genuinely thinking about that type of positioning, not the really high macro level positioning, but that micro positioning where I don't care if you're standing main, I don't care if you're right here, but if you give me a timestamp when you're right here and you were saying, oh, I played right here because I was cutting off elephant, great. That's exactly what I want to see. That's exactly what I want to see in a review, in a homework submission. So good stuff, Lunch. It was fun. Thank you as always for the VOD, and hopefully it was helpful. But you know, as I mentioned, you did really well. You had some really strong bobs there, some like just really solid ultimates. You definitely were a major impact in your game, and there's a reason you won. So good job, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, later.